Polling day opened. Both Labour and the Scottish Nationalists were supposed to be campaigning for the same goal.
I remember I was canvassing and I could hear the television on in some houses, and Callaghan was on television. But by that time, he was the Gordon Brown of his day. People had decided he was on his way out, he was finished and so on. So he wasn't a very credible campaigner, you know, for devolution at all.
The Labour Party in Dundee made no attempt whatsoever to get out the vote. And the same was true of many other parts of the country. They didn't fight for it. They didn't believe in it. They didn't want it.
And there was still the issue of the Cunningham Amendment. 40% of the registered electorate had to vote in favour.
Well, the referendum was arguably conducted on an electoral roll that was substantially out of date.
When you actually looked at that in detail, the dead voted no, you know, because every electoral register dies about 1% a month. So the dead counted no. Anyone who had been placed on the register, like some of the American students in Edinburgh, for example, the halls of residence, they counted no. And when you worked it all out, it's going to be very, very difficult to overcome the 40%.
Oh, yes, the dead people voting, yes. Well, we anticipated that issue. And the amendment didn't say that you had to get 40% of the names on the register. There was a proper professional estimate made of the number of people who die each year.
As the day progressed, the enormity of climbing the 40% mountain became clearer and clearer.
And I always remember a woman walking up and down outside the polling station. And she said to me, I don't know whether to vote for you or not. I just don't know. I mean, by me she meant, yes. Don't know whether to vote for you or not. There's so much at stake here, and there's so much anxiety in our house about this. And I knew then, this was late at night, it's about 8 o'clock, I knew then that, you know, even all the folk had gone by voting yes. If that woman was saying that was a high proportion in the country, who at the end of the day would go in and vote no. And it was miserable.
Number of yes votes, 1,230,937. Number of no votes, 1,153,502.
In spite of the majority in favour of an assembly, the terms of George Cunningham's 40% amendment meant not enough had voted in favour.
I voted yes, but if you couldn't even get 40% of Scots to vote for the bill, which indeed what happened, then there was no justification for imposing something that had major implications for the whole of the United Kingdom.
There were certainly a lot of people in Scotland who complained bitterly about the insertion of that 40% rule, who argued that it was fundamentally undemocratic. Why, they asked, is first past the post good enough for Westminster elections? Why was it good enough for the referendum on the EEC, but which of course proposed a far greater alteration to constitutional arrangements than the Scottish devolution bill? Why was it good enough for those measures but not good enough for Scotland? And I think there was a very strong reservoir of resentment about that.